Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Porch Talk. Before we start in this episode, I just want to go over a few things. If you are in the Tazewell County area or in close driving distance, I personally would like to invite you this Sunday to attend Life Church in Cedar Bluff, Virginia, located in the Claypool Hill Mall. Pastor Brandon there and the whole church family has been wonderful to us, and it's just a great experience every week. So I just wanted to use this platform I have to invite you guys this Sunday to the service. And happy to announce that we are partnering with Blackberry Winter. Blackberry Winter is a charity organization here in Southwest Virginia. They do a lot of amazing work in our area. We are very happy to be even just a small part of sharing who they are, and the mission that they have. The president from Blackberry Winter, Terry Crawford Brown, she was nice enough to give us some clips, and in these clips, she's going to share more information about who they are, what they do, and some of the stuff they might need. We would also like to advise you guys to go and follow them on Facebook to get more details. After the announcements, after I get done running my mouth here at the beginning, we'll have a message from Terry, and then in between each interview, I've placed some of the clips that she has sent us, just to kind of give you all some information there. Yeah, be alert to those. Don't skip over them. And again, be sure to follow them on Facebook. Final thing, we are in the process of getting a business to sponsor us, a local restaurant. We'd also like to extend that offer. And just if you have a business in Southwest Virginia, if you want to get an ad out here on our episode, just message us, message me personally on my Facebook or Jamar or the podcast page. But again, as far as sponsors go, if you want an ad on the podcast, just message one of us and we'll see what we can come up with. That's it for the announcements, guys, and I hope you enjoy the episode.
This is Terry Crawford Brown with Blackberry Winter. So if you don't know what Blackberry Winter is, it's a nonprofit that I started in 2018, and we take donations of gently used furniture and give it to people who are starting over from nothing. It doesn't matter why that they're starting over, illness, fire, addiction. We help a lot that come out of the domestic violence shelter. So we are based in Southwest Virginia, and since 2018, we have furnished almost 700 homes. When I started doing Blackberry Winter, I realized that a lot of children in our community were sleeping on the floor, and I think children struggle to learn and grow and to feel loved sleeping on the floor. So then that became the second prong of what Blackberry Winter does. We provide beds to children in our community, and so far we have provided close to 1,500 beds in Southwest Virginia.
Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Porch Talk. This is episode 43. We are without Jamar tonight. He had to work, but we are very blessed and happy to have on members of the Grand football team, now state champs. So first off, congratulations to you guys on that. And I'm going to go ahead and kick it to you all, just kind of let you introduce yourself, and you can tell them the position you play for the ones who don't know. And just that way we have a name with a voice for the people that are on Spotify listening. Go ahead, guys.
I'm Yubrenal Isabelle. I'm the middle linebacker.
I'm Omarri Hill. I play defensive line. Gabe Lilly. I play linebacker, running back.
Thank you, guys. So before we get talking about the season itself, I'm curious, and we got to hear from Coach Palmer and Coach Big Mike there a few weeks ago. Before the season, what are some things you all did to get prepared? And not only that, but expectation-wise, did you all have it on you that it was a state or bust?
We always believe that when we go in there, it's a state or bust. We got to have a state championship mindset from the beginning. As soon as we lost that last game in the semifinals, 2 weeks later, we were back in the weight room. So from the very beginning, from that moment to this moment we're sitting here standing with you, we've had that championship mindset.
Like he said, we treat it every day the same. We go in and attack everything with the best mindset. We look to get the best out of whatever we do, whether it's in the weight room or on the field. So every game we go into, we're always looking to get the best out of it.
The expectation is always high every year. Every year you want to go in, you're going to play some good teams. You're going to have to face some adversity and just play ball.
Yeah, and I mean, you guys definitely have set the standard there. You all on the teams before you, it's a special group. I want to talk about the season a little bit, and there's a few points that I want to kind of highlight. But just before we get to a few specific games, how do you guys think you grew as a team from the beginning of the season to the start of the playoffs?
Well, we've grew definitely exponentially since the beginning all the way to the end of the playoffs. Just to see their maturity as a person, not even as a football player, but just as a person out in the community, from how they took on practice, how they took on school, took on games, to their maturity, to their bonding, loving each other, everything since the first day we put on helmets in two-a-days to the time we took it off in the state championship. There's been nothing but growth every single day we stepped on the field.
Pretty much he summed up everything good. I mean, all year round, we've all grown closer. Everybody has matured and came together. Our bonds has built way deeper for each other. We trusted each other, and we take care of each other. We love each other.
I want to say that the biggest thing that we've grown a part of is the family part of it. That's really special in a football team. It's really special in a team in general, no matter what sport you play. I feel like the more the season went on, the more we learned about each other, the more we grew off each other.
Great answers, guys. And I want to kind of highlight a few specific games. The first one being the Bluefield game, because I don't know what was wrong with me and Jamal. We didn't get a chance to ask Mike or Coach Palmer. That's one of the biggest games in the area every single year. Historically, in this area, is probably one of the biggest. I know that's kind of, way back there now. It's the first week of the season, but just talk about the that matchup between you two and how special that is every year.
It's definitely special every year to walk into a stadium, with a rivalry that big, and the way that it's treated, the atmosphere, the feeling coming up to it, that being your first game as well. It's nerve-wracking, but it's a great feeling at the same time, knowing that you're about to have that type of atmosphere your first game, and there's really nothing like it.
Yeah, it means a lot. This game is very big, very, very big. It dates back years, and the weight that it holds, I mean, it's self-explanatory. Everybody already know. So, going into playing games like that, it's awesome. It gets everybody pumped up, and, it gives you something to play for.
It's really special because, especially no matter what side of the line you're on, it's all, since you was a little kid, you're probably watching that game, going with your family. I mean, it's always been something that's been the talk in August, September. It's the biggest game that I've ever heard of and the biggest game I've ever been in and went to.
Yeah, I'm sure in some ways, at least crowd-wise, I'm sure that it probably competes with the state game. I mean, I know the state championship has its own special thing, and I know you want that, but yeah, that game is just, it's special. I mean, it was featured on ESPN there for a reason. So yeah, next one I kind of want to talk about, and we talked about it with your coaches when they came on, was the first time you played for junior high. And the reason mainly for that is the adversity that you all went through that week with the hurricane and stuff. I just want y'all kind of touch on that.
We only had 2 days of practice that week. We had a major hurricane and flood, and we went to that game with nothing to eat but a piece of bread with some peanut butter and jelly on it. And then we traveled, about 2.5 hours down to Virginia High. But what really got us through it was, like we always say, and we're going to keep saying, is each other. When we got a bond this strong and a team that's like a family with brothers, whether we had something to eat or not, we were ready to go play football, man. On any time, any place, anywhere. You could have met us in the parking lot that day and we would have played. But we had each other, just to sum it up. And when you have each other and you trust the man beside you and love the man beside you, you'll play for him no matter what. So that's what got us through.
Man, it was pretty chaotic. None of us had power. Like you said, we played on an empty stomach. The few people ate some peanut butter on bread. That was it. And most people didn't really eat nothing. But like you said, we're family. We reached out to each other as much as possible and kept up with each other, trying to make sure everybody was good and, everybody was not struggling too bad or anything. And when the time came, we just all met up and went down there and played football. But, we took care of each other through it all, whether we won or lost, had practice or not, we was there for each other, regardless.
It definitely didn't feel like an ideal high school football game. It was very out of pocket. It really threw me off, man. It threw our team off, not being able to work towards what we can do on the field. 'Cause that was probably one of the worst preparation we've had at the time. It's just going down there off of a piece of bread and peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah.
It's just, that's something you guys gotta look past, and then being down there with the dudes just fall out.
Yeah, and I mean, I read about it in the paper and stuff, but until we talked to Coach Palmer about that, just hearing it from you guys, how difficult that was, and just some of the things y'all had to go through, the paper, reading it in print doesn't do it justice. So I mean, just making it out there and competing for both teams really was a great feat for that week.
Well,
One more game I kind of wanted to highlight before I get into the playoffs and some other questions was the Lebanon game. And that one is just, it's more out our way. That was probably, in my opinion, for Lebanon, that's probably the biggest game they've had in maybe about 10 years. And that's not saying anything bad about the program, but I mean, where they were as well, I think they were undefeated at the time. You all were too. We were at that game. High-powered offense they had. I mean, it was a good game all the way up to the end. So I just want to give y'all a chance to talk about that and, kind of how y'all battled through the adversity in that game.
As far as battling through the adversity, we know we got a tough defense. And, we knew that they were going to pass the ball. Mike Reese is a real good quarterback, so definite big props to him. But when we first went out there, we had a couple of adjustments that we needed to fix. And that's with every football game. It's a game of adjustments. So we went in there at halftime. I think we were, tied? About close.
No, it was tied.
It was tied, and we came out there I think we got the ball first, and we scored, and then we understood on defense. That's what our thing has been this whole year is Graham's defense. We understood that if we kept bringing it to him, he was going to break. It has to break at some point. And I think out of 30-some dropbacks,
33 pressures.
There was 33 pressures out of 38 dropbacks, something like that. So when you're getting pressured that many times by people that big, that violent, you're bound to break eventually. So it was just really being a tough football player, understanding that you got to have the willpower to get through to make them break before you do. That's simply all it was just physicality and will.
Like he said, that was a big game. Lebanon had a great year. They was undefeated. We was undefeated as well. So the hype built up for the game was big itself. We didn't try to feed into it too much. We just stuck to our plan and played our brand of football. Like he said, Mike Reese, great quarterback. Lebanon, they had some talented players all across the board, especially at the skill position. So shout out to them. We know it was going to be a tough game, but we had to come in and just play our game. Defensively, we knew we had to put pressure on Mike Reese. If not, you can't let him sit back all day because they're going to pick you apart. We knew we had to put pressure on him, and I feel like offensively, initially we tried to throw the ball a lot, but we had to get a run game going, and it helped us get momentum and allowed us to put points on the board.
Lebanon was one of the, in my opinion, one of the best teams we played. They had the most heart out of any of the teams we played. I know that for sure. It was a really special team. And that running back and Mike Maurice, they are some dogs over there. I don't know, he could sling the rock. So many places, it's just hard to know when a guy that big and a guy that athletic is going to do. He can throw the ball 80 yards on the field, or he can run the ball 80 yards on the field. It don't really matter. It's just a hard team to play against, especially down in Lebanon. That was just a whole different crowd.
Yeah,
that was
the best crowd we played in front of this year.
Definitely. And I thought it would probably be packed out with the impact of that game. And like you said, the defense was just amazing all night. I mean, and credit to him, I said it that week during the episode. He had a great week just being able to withstand some of the hits that you all put on him. And, you talk about running the ball second half. I think, Gabe, you got in there. I think you did quarterback wildcat a little bit there running the ball. So, just a terrific game for you guys. A terrific game to be there for. I want to talk about the roster around you a little bit. Give you a chance to kind of highlight some players that maybe didn't get the spotlight this year that maybe they deserved. And so you can shout out them or just shout out any of the teammates that you have.
As far as I'll shout out our whole team. I mean, football is the ultimate team sport. If one person don't do their job, the whole thing falls apart. So you got to have the D linemen, you got to have the linebackers, the cornerbacks. Everybody's a big part of it. And this team is truly a team where everybody contributed. There was no weak link. Everybody was strong on this team, As far as receivers, Blake Graham and Chris Campbell, Jamal, them catching the ball. Gabe and Gage running the ball. Our linebackers, me and Gabe, D-line. Our D-line was ferocious this year, so shout out to them. I mean, we had a lot of D-linemen in Jasir, Omarri, Jermonte, Sean Dow. I mean, the whole team's young, and they're just now giving you a little peek into what they can do. So I'm sure that when me and my partner here, Omarri, are gone, that this team's in good hands, and they will be able to make another run just like we had this year.
No. Like he said, football is truly a game of everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody got to be on the same page. One person being in the wrong spot can hurt everything you got going.
Yeah.
So honestly, you got to shout out the whole team because it takes everybody to win. And, we got to be on the same page. We got to play for each other and be with each other. And our whole team balled. Everybody had a great year, especially our O-line. Our O-line, awesome, man. They set the tone all throughout the year, especially in the playoffs. They stepped it up a notch and got a lot better. Our defense buckled down front to back. Offensively, we found the rhythm later on in the year, was able to put a lot of points up on the board like we needed to. So shout out to everybody. Our team is great.
I like to shout out the whole team. I'm talking from the kickers to the scout team. That whole team, no matter what your role was on the team, you helped the team get better. You helped the team win. But the big keys that I want to say has the most underrated spotlight is our D-line and our O-line. I mean, if you don't have nothing to start up front, you're not going to win a ball game. That's where the game starts. Zabo, Aiden Bailey, Ben Hendricks, Caden Grosclose, and Monte Hendricks. Those are some dogs running behind them. They don't get the whole cleared out. You're just going nowhere. That's some big dudes up front. And then you got Mari, Sean Dow, and Joshua Williamson. They're just some monsters on the D-line. I don't remember one time they had to meet us just straight up.
Yeah, I think that kind of goes back to Coach Palmer and Mike. They both kind of said the same thing. You all want to impose your will on everybody you play, and I think a good start to that is on the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. And I think that's probably the deciding factor in the season and the result that y'all had. I do want to give you a chance to talk about your coaches, Coach Palmer. So we had Mike on here a few weeks ago. Just give them a shout out, and just any of the other staff you have on there, if y'all want to shout out.
All of our coaches, from the D coordinators to the O coordinators to Mike, who's doing strength, all of our coaches are special, man. Every single one of them have their own personality, their own thing. They're definitely special. Big Mike in the weight room, he gets us strong. He builds character too, not just your muscles. He builds your mind too. Coach P, he's definitely put a great staff together around him to make sure that this comes together. My dad, he's been a big part in all of our lives as far as building character, building a young man, building a player. And that's a big part where that imposing your will comes from, is the things that he's helped instill in us. We got great minds and great people like Coach Snake and Coach Rex. They're definitely great people. I mean, our whole staff, we got a big staff. Coach Poopy, he's definitely a big part of our lives too. All of our coaches, they're not just coaches. They're big parts of our lives, almost like father figures, every single one of them. So they're a big part on the field and off. So everybody on our coaching staff, down to the equipment managers, man, they are truly something special.
Yeah, I mean, he hit the head on the nail. We got an amazing coaching staff. All of them is experienced in football. That's went far in it. But not only that, they're there with us off the field as well. They're not just coaches. They're family too. And we have a great coaching staff who put us in position to make plays on the field, and they're there for us off the field as well, who builds us up as young men, and just be the best we can be in life outside of football as well. So shout out to them. Love them all.
Just the way every coach does makes you feel like it's just a big family. Like you can go in and just be yourself, and then of course you get the pride to play ball. It's a really touch up on when you get people and men that don't get paid just to come out hours at days, just spend with kids, trying to help them grow. It's hard to find that, honestly, with people that actually care.
100%. And I think Coach Mike said a few weeks ago, the greatest coaching staff ever assembled. And I think it's a good argument to have, at least in Southwest Virginia, for sure.
Okay.
It's an elite group. We'll be shocked if we don't see some offers come from some other schools just trying to, even get the assistants. I wouldn't be surprised even to see some colleges maybe trying to get Coach P out there. I mean, it's just the success y'all have, and I don't see it stopping anytime soon.
Blackberry Winter partners with just about every agency that helps people in Southwest Virginia. We work with Child Protective Services, Appalachian Agency on Aging. We help the veterans. Anyone can get help from Blackberry Winter. They just can't ask for it for themselves. They have to have someone to help us help them. Someone that's not in crisis that can provide, trucks and people to come and pick up the furniture that's donated and that we are given to them. So that generally comes through a social service program, but not always. Sometimes it's family members or friends who are trying to help one of their loved ones that is going through a cold snap in life.
We'll talk about the community over there a little bit. Just give you all an opportunity to talk about them, how they have supported you guys.
We got a big community around us that supports us heavy. This town definitely loves some grand football. Over here, as grand footballer, it's nothing, and they support us big time. They make sure we always have the things we need. They make sure that they're always out to support us, whether it's listening to us over the radio or being there in person. It's a great community. When I first came down here, I truly felt welcomed, and it's a different environment and atmosphere when you come up here with these people. They're the most inviting and loving people as far as a community goes for football I've ever seen.
And we love our community, and they love us just as much. Our community, they're always behind us, whether it's, like you said, at games, supporting us, or whether it's listening to online, on the radio, whatever. Our community is behind us as well, not only on the field, but off the field as well. They're always there to take care of us in any way that we need it, to help us out in life, not just football. And, when we are on the field, they bring it, man. They support us heavily. They make sure that they, put us out there and that they're there for us. And without them, they play a big role in it. So without them, we wouldn't be here as well.
In our community, we don't have the biggest community, but I mean, our community definitely has the biggest heart. I mean, there's nowhere you can get to where people in the stands they just love to come out on a Friday night and support a high school with a bunch of kids. It's something special to see people come out and support you and love you.
I mean, everybody that we've talked to, whether it be online or at the games, have always been very nice and respectful too. I mean, I think the fan base, you can tell your fan base is very well educated in the sport,
Yeah.
and that's not to say anything bad by any other fan base, but you can tell sometimes the ones that's kind of been there, and yeah. So and also man, some of the like edits and stuff I've seen on Facebook. Somebody dropped an edit today of y'all's state run, like the state game and stuff.
Yeah.
That was sick, and that was awesome. I saw that. It kind of gave me chills, and I'm not even, I'm not from there. But I want to put it back on the football side real quick. You mentioned your defense, and I think we put it up on our socials maybe like a week or two ago. Just talking about how your defense alone could probably be in the conversation with probably one of the best units that's been through Southwest Virginia. There's been several that have been good. I mean, even back in the 2000s and stuff, you had that one Richland's defense was really good. But this unit y'all have is it's special. There was very tiny moments this year where anybody had any success, and it was short-lived. So defensively, what makes you guys so different than everybody else?
It goes back to the thing we've been saying this whole interview is loving each other. When you trust that man beside you to do his job, that makes things so much easier for you when you know that you just got to do your job because he's going to do his. And it's a hungry physical defense. When you got somebody who truly understands that for 4 quarters, I have to impose my will. That's hard for any offense to stop when you're getting hit that many times, that ferocious for 4 quarters. And we're a competitive defense too. If Mari look at me one night and he's like, I'm getting 10 tackles. Well, I'm like, man, that means I got to get 15. But it's good competition like that keeps you hungry. It keeps you, and we truly understand. We believe that if we played on the 1 yard line the whole game, you still wouldn't score. It's a defense with discipline. It's a defense with tenacity. It's a defense that truly understands that for 4 quarters, my will has to be imposed on you. And I mean, any defense, that has those things right there, it'll make a great defense.
Yeah, man. Like you said, being there and loving each other. Throughout practice, our scout team, who don't get all the credit, they give us great looks and allow us to see things and prepare for things well. That way, we coming into the matchup, we know what we're getting, we know what to expect, we know what we're seeing, what's coming and when it's coming. And when we go out there, we play for each other. Nobody's out there playing selfishly. We playing for each other. It allows us to be the best we can be and allow everybody to get to the ball. And that's been our biggest thing. We've had at least about 8 people to the ball pretty much every play, if not everybody. And it's allowed us to make plays all over.
It starts in January. That's when the whole thing starts. That's when everybody comes together. That's when you put the most work in. It starts in January. Stop working until December 15th. That's the last day you start working, and a week later you're right back in it. Our defense is just wild. The way we know that our jobs is something that we do, and then say D-line, they have their job, but the linebackers also know that they have to have their job. If that don't happen, it's not going to work. Safeties know that they protect it high. We got the middle. D-line just get after it.
It's amazing watching you all on the defensive side. And we've talked about it with the coaches and stuff too, but it really does seem like it's a culture thing, and kind of getting that from you guys too. I'm sure there's a lot of X's and O's, but the culture is it's different there. I want to talk about the playoffs a little bit, and I don't want to, take a whole lot of time on each game and keep y'all up any later, but just really an overview from the first round to the state semis anyway. You all face a lot of really good offenses. In Lee with Pendergraft over there, Virginia High rematch there, and Glenver. So, playing against those teams, I guess you can kind of talk about it as an overview or maybe individually, each one, it don't matter. But did you kind of feel a sense of pride, like, okay, we get to kind of show our defense on this stage against these offenses? And like I said, I mean, the results, they're pretty loud, I guess, in y'all's favor on that side, but just kind of speak on those games a little bit.
Every game we lived and died by this playoff series. You got to go 1-0, 1-0. You can't worry about next week. We got to take this one on 1-0. And as far as the defense goes, our scout team, who doesn't get a lot of credit but deserves a lot, got us prepared for these things, getting us good looks. Our coaches had a great game plan going in. And like you said, it's hard in X's and O's, but we got playmakers too, who they do their job, but they're also able to make a lot of crazy plays that some people can't make. So, yeah, going into every game, we definitely took a sense of pride in our defense, knowing because there's always a lot of talk before games between schools, on the internet, parents, fans, talking about this kid might do this or this kid might do that. Well, we take that as a sense of, you think he's going to get 100 yards, we bet you he going to get 10. We take a big pride in our defense because we truly understand defense wins championships. So if our defense ain't performing, then our offense can't do anything. So we definitely take a big pride in shutting people down, making sure that our offense is on the field as much as possible, giving them the ball, because if they don't have the ball, then we can't score. So when it comes to and especially on that stage, when you get deep in the playoffs, it just gets harder and harder. And we take that as a sense of we got to step up even more. Just because we did this week doesn't mean it's going to happen this next week. So we got to lock in even harder and keep going and keep showing people why our defense is great. We can't just let them keep talking about it. We got to show them to the very end that this is a defense to talk about all the way up until game 15.
We take a lot of pride in our defense, especially when we get to the playoffs. The teams are going to be saying everybody going to step it up a notch. It's win or go home. So everybody giving everything they got. And it's a lot of talk going around. Obviously, we don't pay too much attention to it, but a lot of people think this and assume that. And they just think that, I feel like a lot of people underestimated us still going into the playoffs. They still ain't respect us enough. So, our biggest thing was to just stay locked in and do what we do. Obviously, hats off to the teams we played, because we definitely played some good teams, but we imposed our will on them, and, they ain't get much out of it, and we just dominated like, we intend to.
First thing I want to say is, without the Lord, we wouldn't have made it as far as we did.
Sure.
Being able to oversee rows and go that deep into the playoffs and win a state championship, having 2 rings in your high school career is just something that it's hard to come by. And going through all the teams, being just one, not even wondering, just thinking to yourself, this could be your last high school game with the dudes beside you. So you really just turn the switch on and you just play ball for them. You play the ball, you play the game just to get to the savings. Once that clock is 0, you know that you have nothing left in the tank and you give it your all.
Yeah, and I mean, I'll be the first to tell you, I was one of them that, for some reason, now in hindsight, I think I was pretty dumb. Had thought that that Virginia High was going to give y'all a pretty tough game the second time, and just like you said, Omarri, it's like y'all took it up another notch. Like you all were already the best defense, but it was like it went up another notch. And after you all, I mean, it was about 42-0, I think, in that game. And after that win, I was like, there's nobody going to touch them. I mean, I knew Glenver was, I mean, they had a lot there too, but that game, I think, was a big statement. So, state game. Let's go ahead and get to it. Then I got a few questions that Jamar sent to me that he usually does, some pretty fun ones. But I want to talk about the state game. There's 2 things I want to ask you about because I wasn't able to attend it, unfortunately. I watched some online, and I've seen some highlights come out after the fact. But 2 things I want to ask you about, and then also I want to ask you about just the overall feeling. But first thing, that hit, man, that hit that's going on, I mean, it's everywhere. Y'all speak on that a little bit. That hit, it kind of set the tone for the whole game, I feel like.
Oh, for sure. I mean, we got to give props to our offense first off. They set the tone coming out there on offense, dropping down immediately and scoring a touchdown that quick. But on the defensive end, that definitely set the tone, We came out there and they thought that they were really going to run the ball on us for 4 quarters and play our brand of football. That's all they talked about in the papers was, their line and how well they do run the football. And they really thought they were going to do something with that. But that hit, I think, kind of set a stone for this is how this game's going to be for 4 quarters, that the G-men have arrived as G-men. And I think that hit kind of signifies how our defense has been all year. It's a powerhouse of a defense that's coming at you physically and mentally as well, because defensively it's a big mental thing as well, not just strength and how you make plays and do things. You got to be a smart individual and a willing individual to play defense the way that we do. So I think that kind of set the tone for all things around our defense for that game and, let people know that we arrived and we're here to win a state championship.
Yeah, so going into that game, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, I felt a little bit disrespected because like I said earlier, I feel like a lot of people still underestimated us and didn't respect us enough. A lot of talk going around was that we were going to have to adapt to them and be able to stop their running game, which we've been doing well all year. So, we took that as fuel and, we ain't let it get to us, but we went in there. Everybody did a great job of doing their job that game. Playing offenses like that, it's crucial to be in your spot or anything can happen. So our defense did a great job of being in the right spot and doing their job, and when that hit came, man, it was exciting. That definitely set the tone. That signified our dominance and it showed us that, we ain't playing none of that soft football. We here to hit you. They used to beating up on teams and running around them, and we ain't having none of that.
For me, that was icing on the cake. I'll be honest. That was just fun to just kind of tell Strasburg and whole Virginia that we play football. We're not frauds. We play ball. After offense came out and scored twice, I knew all we had to do was roll.
I understand. Another one I wanted to ask you about, and I don't know the backstory on this, but I saw Coach Palmer share it. I know y'all watched the movie The Blind Side, right? So, when Orr kind of pushes the guy into the hedges or wherever he pushes him to outside, someone's taking him home.
Yeah.
So, that picture I saw, I can't remember who even was the player that done it now, but, I mean, did y'all notice that while it was going on, or is it just after the fact you saw the picture?
I turned around. I remember when I saw it. It was Blake Graham, the one who did it. He's been an amazing receiver for us this year, so shout out to him first off. But I turned around, somebody said, "Breno, look." And I turn around, and all I see is Blake go. It is like in slow motion, like a cartoon. He just flipped into the tree. And Then he got him up out of the tree. I'm sure Blake's a real nice guy. I'm sure he was being sincere, but he patted him on the head, and I was like, "Ah, man, that did not look how you thought it looked. That made it like 10 times more disrespectful." But it was definitely a funny moment that we will remember in such a big game like that too, man. Yeah, that's definitely something funny.
Honestly, Blake made the dude look silly. I mean, it looked like something from cartoons, Uh, he couldn't keep up with him, man. He tried to chase him, fell in the bushes. I seen it. I seen the whole play. I seen it play out, and it was hilarious. I'm not gonna lie, it was.
It was pretty funny just seeing him run on the field and his legs just go straight up in the air, face it down, legs go up. That's something that you actually have memories in when you're 20, 30, 40 years old, talking to your buddies about the state championship game. That's just memories you can't really find.
That's awesome, gosh. I hope somebody, or I guess maybe it's on NFHS or something. I don't know if the camera angle shows it, but I'd love to see that. That's awesome. So yeah, just one more question on this. Like I said, winning that game, and I know that you mentioned, getting one. I guess that was y'all's freshman year,
Or
your
you?
sophomore year. So yeah, so I mean, you've had one before, but still yet, I mean, you don't know if you're going to get back there. There's people there's teams and schools that go, I mean, since their existence, never make it there. So just, how does it feel and how did it feel in that moment for all that hard work to pay off and you all get that state ring?
From the beginning of the season, nobody really thought that we'd get here. So when we did get there, it was definitely a sweet moment. Not only for us, but for our community and for the people that doubted us, not thinking that we'd even make it out of the first round, second round of the playoffs. Now we're in the state championship game. So, and for us, we put in all this hard work and it's gone through such a crazy of a season, like with the VI game, it was definitely a sweet feeling. Mine and Omarri's class, we've only lost one regular season game our whole careers, and we've only lost 3 games total. So, and even with that, when you go on such a stage like that, and you're rewarded for the hard work you put in with the state championship game. Not only that, but winning it, it's always a sweet feeling. No matter if you've won 10 of them or if you've won one. For any school, community, and player, it's a sweet feeling no matter what. And especially to go out like that. Everybody knows it has to end, and it's a sad thing. But if that's how you want your final curtain call to be, then there's no other way. I'd rather have it. With 15 games with the people that I love and ending it with a state championship, that is the perfect storybook ending, and I wouldn't rather have it any other way.
Yeah. So it's a great feeling. We work all year round for it. After the season end, we get a short week and a half, 2-ish weeks break, but after that, we're right back to it with each other. So, I mean, we grinding all year round, whether it's in the weight room, hitting the field, or doing whatever we're doing. We getting at it all year round, and we put on all that work. From 2-a-days, man, 2-a-days harassment. From 2-a-days to the long and countless amount of hours that you put into practice, after all of that to even get there, it's a lot. And, a lot of people didn't believe in us. A lot of people wrote us off after coming out of last year because some of the talent that we lost. And, we've lost a lot of good talent, but, we build each other up and we get back at it. So everything that we lose, we always try to replace in some way or another. And, getting to that stage of the state championship is something like you can't take for granted, regardless, whether win or lose. That's something like a lot of people never even get to say they've done it once.
Yeah.
And, our class, that's our 3rd one we went to, losing 1 and winning 2. So, just to get there alone, it feels amazing because, all the hard work that you put in all year round is paying off, let alone winning it. Like, going out like that is amazing.
Yeah, talk about going out. It feels like this season just flew by. This is probably one of the best seasons I've ever been in. And it doesn't even feel real right now that it's over. But you can't be mad, you can't be sad because you got the job done. You got the job done that you've been preaching about since January. That's just something that you've had on your checkbook. It's something that every team files for and partially not even get them.
Yeah, and I mean, I think I mentioned it before, but I mean, your all's group, these teams in the past, it really has set, I think, the standard in Southwest Virginia. I mean, you are the team that everybody's chasing right now, and will be if I was to make a prediction on it for the next few years. But I'm gonna get into some of these fun questions that's kind of outside of football.
Blackberry Winter doesn't step in when someone needs just one or two things. I did when I first started this, but there wasn't enough donations to maintain that, and it would end up that people who had nothing, I wouldn't have enough furniture to give them. So we don't help when people just need a living room suite or a bedroom suite, or it's when people are starting over from nothing. With the recent hurricane and floods, we've had almost double the request. People have lost their homes to water damage and trees and things. We also help people when their houses is burnt, or if they've been sick and they've lost their home because of illness. People have been imprisoned. We work with the Department of Corrections, and when the parole officers feel like they are doing well and need a hand up, they'll come and get the furniture for them and take it to them.
Jamar always throws in this element here. It gets the people to know you all a little better. If you was to have a Christmas dinner, because we got Christmas coming up, and you get 3 athletes, it could be past or present, doesn't matter, that's going to come and join you in this Christmas dinner, who would you pick?
Okay, I'll go. I say TJ Watt, because that's my favorite player currently. I go Kobe Bryant, because I grew up off him. That's my favorite player of all time. And then third, there's a lot you could go. But I don't know. I'd probably say Derek Jeter, because I used to play baseball growing up. I'm not really big on baseball now, but Derek Jeter was, a great, and I watched him a lot growing up.
If I could have a dinner with 3, I think my first one probably would be Michael Jordan. Honestly, I mean, I know the LeBron and Jordan, that's
LeBron.
That's an argument. Okay. Anyway, that argument is going left and right. So, I mean, I'd probably do Jordan. But Cam Newton, I was born in Charlotte, so I mean, I've always, growing up watching Cam Newton's always been something that I've always looked up to that, honestly. For my third one, I do Myles Garrett. He's just a monster, freaking nature.
Just had to do that.
That's just somebody you don't want to mess with. Not even TJ Watt.
If I had to pick 3, I think first off I'd go with the GOAT, LeBron, Ramon James, for sure. I've loved LeBron ever since I was little. It's the first player that I ever learned to love in the game of basketball, and he's the greatest of all time. So, you got to pick LeBron. And second off, I think I would go with the God of War himself, Mike Tyson. I've seen a couple of interviews and things that he's done, and I'd love to just pick his brain for a minute. See his outlook on life, someone who grew up that hard and done the things that he's done. Man, I'd love to just hear him talk for a few minutes. And third, I think I'd like to, keep it modern with this one. I think I'm going to go Lamar Jackson. I've seen a couple things with him, and he just seems like a cool dude, man. Seems like a great time, a great person. And I love to pick his brain too and see how he, plays the game, sees the game, and, all those other aspects of it.
Yeah, awesome answers. Maybe towards playoff time, NBA, when it kind of winds down, maybe we'll get you all back on here and let you debate LeBron and Jordan for about an hour.
I would love to do that. I do that for hours.
Yeah.
I got arguments. I keep arguments ready for LeBron.
I don't get into basketball like that. I just go off.
Yeah.
I just go off. I don't even know what I go off. I just prefer Jordan, I guess.
That's what makes it good. I mean,
I love basketball.
Yeah. I got one more for you that he had anyway. Okay, so Christmas is coming up, right? So we all, even me now, and I'm sure even as you get older, you do look forward to getting a gift, for Christmas. So
Yeah.
In the past, what is your favorite gift? And that could just be your favorite because you liked it, or it could be something memorable. And it could be when you was little, or it could be even more recently. It's your favorite gift.
Good.
Can't think of anything.
All right. So I got
About a
3
lot
things.
of gifts.
I got 3 things. Okay. I'm going to go back. I'm going to say, go back to 2016 hoverboards. Back then, hoverboards, they was a big thing, and everybody one-on-one. They had the world in headlock 2016, 2017, partially 2018. So I go hoverboard. Which one did you have? I had it was like a rusted gold.
Russia go. I had the feedy one. It was with the lights on the wheels in the front.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then second, I would say some of the earrings I got. I'm big on earrings. I don't got nothing in right now, but I'm getting some new ones for Christmas, like right now actually, because I keep losing all the ones I got. But I love my earrings, so those are definitely some of my favorite gifts. And then the third one, I'd say probably unboxing a PlayStation. Like, the going to 3 and 4, well, 2, 3, and 4 or so. But I'm big on PlayStation and video games, so yeah, probably one of those.
For my 3, I'm going way back when I want to say 6 or 7, having a white Christmas tree and having the tree covered in matchbox cars. That was probably that was a good one.
That's awesome.
That was actually very fun because I have a little brother. That's all we did. We didn't really have video games. It was a small family. You lived in Bluefield, West Virginia. You wasn't near nobody. For second one, I had a trampoline. That's probably one of the good ones. Trampoline was good. And for a third one, I'm a very basic dude. I'll do sports cards. I like to collect them.
If I had to pick some, I don't know. I've had a lot of presents, crazy presents over the year. I'd say my Oculus, my VR headset. I love that thing to death. That was a present I was definitely blessed to have. I'll say what Mari said. I'll piggyback off of that one and say the hoverboard. That thing was. I took that thing everywhere, and man, this is harder than what I thought it would be.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know, man. I love shoes, so I'm gonna just say all the shoes that I've gotten over the year. I'm a sneakerhead, so I'm gonna put that in there. But I've been blessed enough to get a lot of great gifts over the year, and every gift, certainly means something to me. So, but that's a good question. That's a good great.
Yeah, definitely shout out to Jamar there. He sent me that one. He's great at coming up with those. Great answers. I loved them. One thing I do want to ask, because you mentioned PlayStation. So do you all play college football?
Yes.
You do? Okay.
Hey, let me just let you know. This guy right here is trash.
Oh my gosh,
everybody.
No, let me tell you something.
Let me tell you, in our series, I'm up like 13-0 against him.
Gosh, no, it's not. That's a lot. First off, I've beaten everybody. I stopped playing him because when he did beat me, when he did beat me, he beat me when he uses O State. He's an Ohio State Blazer. So he was beating me when Judkins was doing the spin move.
Oh yeah,
So,
it was OP. Yeah,
I was
Texas fan.
I was beating him after too.
Texas fan. Anyways, let me tell you something.
Hey, Texas,
I have beaten everybody in the school, and I stopped playing Omarri after like 3 games because I was tired of.
Okay, I'm like 13-0 against him.
Let me get my argument in. I don't have that. But I came over here one night. First ever game. I used Boston College. He used TCU. Go ahead and ask him what happened.
For one, he had better.
I don't care.
Second off, he played not only with somebody else, one of my other teammates on his team, them two playing against me, and I still beat him. I have beaten everybody except for Omarri because I've only played 3 games. I'm not dealing with Ohio State. There's not a defense in America on that game that's beaten. Staying with Ohio State, I use Texas.
Texas was the number one.
Texas what? Yes,
they was. Take it. Search it up.
I don't know what y'all arguing.
I don't care. I'm still
Hey guys, listen.
That's definitely a game we played. We love that game.
Yeah, we had 2 kids from East Side a few weeks ago had the same thing happen, and they ended up playing after they got off air and sent us a score. So if y'all play, just let us know. But
hey, we can do that.
Yeah,
I ain't been on a month, so
I ain't been on in a couple months either. But I can get back on.
There you go. Hey, I will say,
that's fine.
Yeah, I will say that week kind of started a trend, and I think the week after that, we kind of joked around saying that we need to do a tournament or something
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and have one, one from Graham, one from some of these other schools, and that kind of got, I think, the Cumberland district, a few of them, East Side and Rye Cove in particular, were kind of getting on, and was like, yeah, let's do this.
I agree.
So that would be pretty fun. I don't know how we would set it up, but that would be a blast. I did forget one question that Jamar always asks, and I don't want to leave it out before I get to my final question, but pregame music. What do you all listen to before you go out there and play? And then also something that he asks every week, and it usually stumps everybody. So you can kind of take your time on it if you want. But like I said, pregame music, and also if you was in a UFC fight, what would your walkout song be?
Pregame music, we listen to a lot of different stuff. You know, a lot of Young Boy. Dreams of Nightmare, always a big song for everybody.
First Day Out.
Yeah, a little bit of T Grizzly.
What's up? What song was it's when we walk out?
I don't even know the song actually.
It's the one with Finito.
Oh yeah,
that
Chief
one.
Keef.
That one with Chief Keef. Yep, that's what I was thinking of.
It's every game we walked out.
So every time we walk out to that one, we open up the doors if we at home, and we put our linemen in the front. So that's where you can look at them coming through the doors.
Even the way we did it.
Yeah, even though we did it, that's what made it special was the way that we did it. Not necessarily song, but the way that we did it.
Also, another big song was "Blow Down" by Lil Baby.
Yeah,
that a lot too.
we did.
If I was a UFC fighter, my walk-through song would probably be like, "Walk Through" by Wish On Me Khan.
Yeah,
Something like that.
so go.
All right.
Oh, here you go.
Yeah. I'm going old school. I'm going Undertaker. Undertaker song. I'm going Undertaker. I don't care. Give me something
I like
that's
that.
good.
Yeah.
That's true. I can do that one. If I had a walkout song in the UFC, I think I would go. Man, this one is gonna get me. I think I'd go to my childhood, probably to the music that my dad listened to. Hold on, let me find the song real quick. Actually, I gotta go on
You're
Apple.
good. You're good. Yeah, that one kind of gets everybody, and in fact, most of the time, we don't have an answer. Some people will kind of think on it and then just kind of never come back to it. But it is kind of tough. I'll tell you what's crazy is some of the answers we've had this year. We've had, and not just for the walkout song, but just the pregame music. We've had Frank Sinatra. We've had Zach Bryan.
Wow, Frank's not crazy.
Yeah, Adele was a very popular one among different schools. Yeah. So we've definitely we've been shocked a little bit this year.
I just found it. I think if I had to go with a UFC walkout song, I would go to my childhood, something that meant something to me, and I think I would go with Young Buck. This is mine. One of them 2010 rappers from G Unit. That's what I'd go with.
Awesome. Hey guys, I love all those answers, and I don't want to keep you up too much longer. I know it's been a long interview, and I love talking to you guys. But I do want to kind of conclude with two questions. One, first off, life after high school. And I know, Gabe, you said you're a junior, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'm still going to ask you this, even though I know you got another year. But life after high school, do you guys plan on playing college ball? Or if that's not in the cards, is there something else that you plan on doing?
I definitely want to play college football. My whole journey with this football thing has been following in my dad's footsteps. He was a big player in high school, and then he played at UVA, and then he had a stint in the NFL with the Patriots. And he's been a monster of a figure to look up to, and filling his shoes has been, at first it looked like an impossible task, but we're getting there slowly with time. But I definitely want to play college football and see if I can chase the things that he's done. I'm still not done because that man's done a lot. So, and as far as the education goes, that's very important as well. I want to get an engineering degree or a psychology degree or even sports and medicine. There's a couple things I want to weigh my options in, but as far as ball goes, I definitely want to keep playing football, pursuing that, and just see where the good Lord takes me. That's what's most important, is following his path, trusting his path, and understanding that don't stray away. What you want's not always what he wants. So I guess we just got to give it time. We still got a lot of time, even as seniors. Not as much as you think, but enough for God to work his magic and set you where he wants you.
Piggybacking off of what he said, I definitely see myself playing ball in college and getting a degree. I'm not sure where at and what field yet. I got a couple different things I've been trying to choose between from, but like he said, really just giving all it to God, letting him, set my path straight, and whatever he got for me, got for me.
I definitely want to go play college ball. That's one of the dreams that I've had since I started playing football. That's something that I've always wanted to do. College football is just something that's special, and especially in my family, I have a lot of people that love college football and sit there on Saturdays and watch football. But for education, I've always wanted to be part of the civil engineer. that's always been interesting to me. That's something that I'd like to get into.
Some guys, and I mean, you just look at some of the accolades you all have individually. You all just as individuals have done amazing things already. God's, plan that He's got out for you. But I do think that football might be in your future. Have y'all got some offers yet? Or are you still working on going some visits and stuff?
We've gotten some offers, we're
Okay.
still going on those visits, and we're still, open to anything because there's still a lot of time, and this is really the time when it starts happening. So
Sure.
and we're sitting here, we're trusting God, letting Him show us the way. We're gonna go wherever He sends us to.
Yeah, we got a couple offers, but nothing set in stone yet. We still trying to see, evaluate everything, weigh everything out, see what's best and what's not.
Definitely, 100%. So I got one final question for you guys, and like I said, I've enjoyed this interview. I think it's been great. We end all of our interviews with this question. What is the biggest motivation that you carry with you when you're out there on the field?
I'd say mine is just making everybody around me proud, whether it's the guys I'm on the field with, people in the stands watching, supporting my family, my friends, everybody. Just, it's not even about myself, just making the guys around me proud, making people watch proud, my loved ones.
For me, it's probably first off showing people what the power of God can do and what believing can do for you out there on that field and in life. And like I said earlier, following in my father's footsteps, trying to see if I could fill the shoes He's created for me. And I want to make my mother proud too. She's put a lot of time into me. She's done a lot of great things for me. She's another superhero of mine. And just getting to sit up there and look at her in those stands and see how proud she is of me. She don't have to worry about a thing other than what I'm gonna do to somebody else's baby. That's the best feeling in the world, man. That she gets to walk into a stadium and feel like a superhero, because of what I've done. And, all the people that have put a lot of time into me. There's been a lot of people in my life that have worked on me and put a lot of time into me, made me the person that I am here today. And I feel like if I don't give 100, even if good game or bad, if I don't give you at least 100% effort, then I feel like I've let you down. And then I want to show you that it wasn't a waste, and that everything that you did and have taught me and has instilled in me is worth it. And I also want to give my little brother, who's on his way up, someone to look up to, someone to be proud of, never to hang his head about, someone that he has to chase the same way I've chased that. Make him, make me his motivation, chase, and not only to chase, but to be better than everything I've done is to make sure that he has something to be better than me. And that's what I've tried to set myself to do. I carry that every time I step on the field.
Two very important people push me and made me feel like I always have to, but really do push me to be the best I can be is my mother and my father. They've been with me every step of the way since I was 4 or 5 till now. They're not, I don't want to say the only ones, but they're the main ones that pushed me and helped me get to the place that I am today. Without them, none of this would have been possible. I mean, I can go back and think when I was 5 and 6 going to a Beaver Graham game and just seeing how electric it was and knowing that I'll be on that field one day, showing everybody what I can do.
Hey guys, terrific answers and terrific interview. I do want to say thank you for coming on. And not only that, but thank you for representing Southwest Virginia. You guys, like I said, you're the standard. You are up there, it seems like every year, or at least in the conversation. The way you all play, I think, is a perfect personification of what Southwest Virginia is and the type of people that we have down here. But not only that, but just talking to you all and then talking to your coaches, the culture you have there. I think you all are not just great football players, but great men. And I think that as role models, I have 2 kids, and I'm thankful that I get to interview you guys and get to show them to some of my kids. And you are the type of people that I want to show them because you all do it the right way. But it's not just about football for you, and I think that's what's so special. So again, thank you for coming on, and thank you for just allowing us to be a part of your journey this year.
Thank you for asking.
Thank you
for having me. We
Thank you.
appreciate it, man.
Absolutely.
If you want to help Blackberry Winter, there are a lot of ways you can do that. When you buy a new living room suit and your old one is still in good shape, then you can donate to us. You go through our website and fill out a form. We don't have any employees, so we have no way of picking furniture up, so we need you to bring it to us in Cedar Bluff. We only take furniture that is in good condition. People that's having a hard time don't need broken down, stained, furniture that makes them feel bad about themselves. And I know used furniture, will have a little bit of this or that, but nothing that you wouldn't have in your home yourself. You could also help us through financial donations. We buy all the mattresses and beds that we give to children, and that is 90% of Blackberry Winter's budget. You can go to www.blackberrywinter.org and donate from there. We have PayPal and Venmo. PayPal has a monthly subscription, which is helps so much, even $10 a month, just to know that the money is coming in, so when we order mattresses, we can do it with more confidence that we had the money to do that. You can volunteer with us. It's also through the website, and just spreading the word and helping us help others. We always are needing pillows and blankets and silverware and things like that. So you see that stuff on clearance, buy some for Blackberry Winter. It really works so well because it's a whole lot of people that all just do what they can a little at a time, and it adds up to be a lot.